We're here to talk about environmental debate live and unscripted that's happening at the former Bothy Vineyard in Oxfordshire, England, on the 27th of May, 2023. And it's basically the live incarnation of the People's Countryside Environmental Debate podcast, but the format is expanded and made more experiential to try and increase the impact. Now, you're wondering who we are. Who are you?
Well, I'm William Manklow. I will be one of the co-facilitators of this event. Stuart and I have been doing a podcast for well over 5 years called the People's Countryside Environmental Debate Podcast. And as Stuart said, this is a live incarnation of that podcast. Who are you, Stuart?
Yeah, I'm Stuart the Wild Man Rabbit, and I'm the other co-host. Many people say I am the podcast, but that's another.
Oh, somebody said that you were on my podcast.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, what we're here to do today is introduce you to one of the panelists who will be at the live event. And do you want to read out the question he's going to raise?
Yes, there's a question that Tommy Serafinski is going to raise. He's going to be talking in a minute. Is it possible to continue consuming meat while taking care of the environment, being self-sufficient and having animal welfare issues at the forefront of your mind? That is going to be the question that Tommy is going to be discussing. Tommy, who are you? And
what organisation are you from?
Hey. Hello, folks. Hello, everybody. I'm Tommy Serafinski, like you said. I am a host of the Tommy's Outdoors podcast, and I was invited as a guest panelist to give a talk and give a conversation and have a conversation about the subject that, William, you just read out. And I think this is important because we hear repeated that mantra of plant-based, and are some people because of their health issues or whatever that might be, they just can't go on an entirely plant-based diet. They have to consume some meat, whether for very variety of reasons, some of them health related, some of them others. And so I will share my thought about it, whether we can still consume meat and have environment and animal welfare at the forefront of our mind, because these are two subjects that are very often given as reasons why we shouldn't consume meat, that the meat production causes environmental harm, and that meat production is connected or causes a lot of animal suffering. So I was wondering about it. Is it possible to still consume meat and kind of not be part of these two undoubtedly damaging aspects of meat production?
I've always found it interesting, the ethics of this, because you've got indigenous cultures that they ate meat, but it was good meat and it was sustainably caught and used as well. And I've often sat and thought about the ethics of all this. Many people are polarized and say you must give up meat, and other people say you must eat meat. But I think there's somewhere in the middle, and I think it's an intriguing angle. But what do you hope, if an audience member comes along, somebody buys a ticket, what do you hope they take away from the event and continue to consider?
Yeah, I think that all that we do here, you folks on your wonderful podcast, and I'm doing on my podcast, we're just trying to present various perspectives and various angles on the subjects, and kind of give people that spark to think about things that are, very often we hear in the social media or the media in general, that just one view, like do this or do that. And as we all know, the life is way more complex and way more nuanced. So what I hope people will take out from this, just basically have a little bit more open mind. It's not saying that they are closed-minded, because I presume that anyone who goes to this event is open-minded already. But kind of like get some new thoughts and new perspectives. And I always say that if even one person will say, "Oh, I never thought about that," then I guess my job is done and your job is done.
Yeah, so I would also ask you, what do you personally want to get out of this event?
Meet with people, and the same thing. Essentially, the event will be very much interactive, and I expect, I'm just curious what people will say. Whether people are going to be angry at me, or whether they agree with me, or whether like what is, this is I think we all on this journey through life, and we learn every day. And I, in no way, shape, or form presume that I know it all. And so, but essentially, I'm expecting to get exactly the same thing as the audience will, which is getting new ideas, getting new perspectives, and a little bit broader view on those things.
I mean, what I've learned from doing our podcast is it's not about not doing things or starting to do things. It's about how you do things in daily life, and maybe how you can do them better. It's not about should we fly or shouldn't we fly. It's how can we fly better. I think I think we've nailed it there. We're all going to learn something different from the event.
We all have different life or have lived experiences, and we'll have different perspectives, and you can learn from those different perspectives as well. I think that's really going to be the big thing that's going to come out for all of us.
And if you want to get a ticket, look in the description below. We've got some Eventbrite tickets down there. But the event starts at 3:30, and there'll be an hour's guided walk around the former vineyard, showing how it's being converted into quite a large nature reserve. Then it'll be an interactive discussion. Now, we've said Tommy's a panelist. Now, he's not going to be a traditional panelist. He's going to stand up and present his thoughts around this subject. Then William and I are going to quiz him a little bit, and then it'll be opened up to you, the audience. And the whole conversation will grow into very much an audience participation event. And then
this is the crucial point here.
Yeah, this is where the magic will happen. Is if you get an extra ticket, you can come to a buffet, and you can continue the conversation with everybody else who's been at the event. That's where the magic will happen. If you mix conversation with food, you get something good.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah. So thanks for promising to be a guest panelist, Tommy, that you jumped on it straight away, and we're looking forward to having you over. You're coming from Ireland.
Yes, I'm coming from Ireland. I very much looking forward to it as well. It's just a few weeks away now.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're looking forward to welcoming you to Oxford, and we're looking forward to you guys buying tickets. So click on this Eventbrite below.
And tickets are selling well, so it's a limited number of tickets for the event. So book your ticket today, because they are very likely to sell it very soon.
Come on, folks, buy a ticket.